Happy Tuesday night. I switched phones. I'm letting that one upload and try to make a video while this is uploading just because this is taking all night. And yeah, at least 2 more videos here, possibly 3. If you're still with me watching this, thank you very much. I know I look dark now. It's this phone, I guess, is different. The other one's older. They're the same model. I don't know. This one cost a penny, so that was cool. They don't make the phones anymore with the buttons, so I got it for a penny. Brand new. I can't drop it because now you don't have no more buttons, man. I can't do that touch thing. Ugh. Alright, so we're almost uploaded here with the other little phone. Part 4 coming at you. Where did we leave off? Oh yeah, the long one. Okay, so what we had here is at one time 3 NSOs, all of whom had worked on the same shift, were diagnosed with sarcoidosis, an inflammatory disease whose causes are still not clearly understood. The third operator to be afflicted was nearly crippled. This investigation revealed several potential workplace health hazards. Equipment meant to control the humidity of the control room was often broke or operating at partial capacity. Can you see me? Testing of the ventilation system using a highly toxic plasticizer resulted in a number of health complaints from operators. A source with first-hand knowledge of related documents indicated that the control room at Byron was, for quite some time, accidentally treated with a toxic cocktail of incompatible cleaning chemicals. Exelon denied this allegation. And even now, Byron's ventilation system regularly ejects clouds of fine black specks into the control room. Oh, are they mixing ammonia with bleach? I mean, black specks, it could be. Many employees believe the specks are black mold. Operators have protested but say they've never received any indication that Exelon has looked into the matter. Exelon denied the existence of these black spots. The plant's health workers and human resources officers have also engaged in the manipulation of employee health benefits. Oh, here's where it gets good. This investigation uncovered indications that Exelon has worked with Dr. John Kohler, that's spelled Koehler, Dr. John Kohler, who owns a number of urgent care clinics in the Midwest and has been employed by Exelon in an occupational health services capacity to minimize the number of diagnoses and prescriptions issued to Byron workers that would trigger reporting to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Exelon denied any inappropriate relationship with healthcare professionals. Exelon often tells its workers that their visits to Kohler's clinics are for evaluation, not treatment, but several workers have nonetheless complained about inadequate and suspicious evaluations. Employee attempts to relay these concerns to the plant management and its human resources department have been met with indifference. Byron managers have also attempted to deprive their employees of workers' compensation and as recently as January, to use disability as a basis for termination. They're getting hurt on the job, they're getting disabled, and then they get fired. Exelon don't have enough money yet? The individual stories beggar belief. One employee on the brink of organ failure was ordered to stop taking medicine and report to work. Are you kidding me? Hoots forced another employee who had already been coerced out of applying for disability into physically strenuous fire brigade training. Hoots did so despite knowing that the training would aggravate the employee's disability, and it did. The employee was fired just short of his 50th birthday, denying him access to his pension and the more generous severance package he would have received if Exelon had let him work a little longer. He was fired for missing too much work he missed as a result of the disability Byron management had discouraged him from documenting. The good people of Byron, Illinois, you have been had. People are staying away from Byron because of this thing. You want people to come down? We'll help redo everything. This thing's killing you. This reactor is not helping you. Not whatsoever. And all I can recommend is that the sheriff of Byron County go in there and arrest this guy. Arrest this Hoots guy. I mean, Japan already knows what's going on. The same employee later suffered a massive stroke. I don't know who this person was, but I'm sure he was people's loved ones. And I'm sure the only reason he went there was to provide for them. I'm starting to feel sick. It's the first time I felt sick in a while. And so this is making me sick. This article. I had no idea how bad it was over there. I'm kind of reading this fresh with you guys. His doctors determined there was a distinct possibility he had suffered small strokes over the preceding years, and they wanted to know why hadn't he taken time off work to have his symptoms investigated. Well, we see why now. Let me just make sure this thing's doing what it's supposed to. Alright, it uploaded. Part 3 uploaded 14 seconds ago. Yay. Sources claim that Hoot's ability to launch himself into Exelon's management's upper echelons depended on his busting the union at Byron. Hoots focused on union steward Dan Cork, the operator's strongest advocate. As early as 2000, Hoots was telling his subordinates that Cork's removal was top priority. He began referring to Cork as the head of the snake. The ensuing campaign against the union found special expression in actions specifically and solely against Cork. Management employees were assigned to track Cork as he traveled the plant on union business. Cork's email and computer usage were monitored, and Hoots went well out of his way to make Cork repeat initial license training in the hopes Cork would flunk. Retaliation against the union was most tangible in the deterioration of the union grievance process, which is the preliminary mechanism by which members can seek redress for contract violations and other mistreatment. Sources say Byron's grievance backlog was among the worst in Exelon's 10-plant fleet. Grievances originating from Byron were unusually likely to require lengthy mediation or litigation. This investigation also discovered that management employed a number of foot-dragging techniques in order to delay and neutralize union grievances. Paul Busser considered filing a grievance about his schedule, but decided against it. The process was broken and would expose him to retaliation. And retaliation had been known to take bizarre forms. Stephen Stimac, S-T-I-M-A-C, an upper manager linked to several alleged instances of retaliation against safety-conscious work activity, had spearheaded a management effort to eliminate a favorite menu choice from the union operators' compensated meal options. As the effort sputtered, Stimac could often be seen berating union members. "I don't owe you an F blankety blanking steak," he'd yell. One operator recalls Stimac nearly getting physical. That's how much operator morale was worth to management, less than a steak. In Exelon terms, less than a fraction of a penny, a management source said. Another upper manager had gone ballistic when a janitor discovered a bottle full of urine and reported it to the management. He stormed into various rooms at the plant, including the control room, and demanded that union operators raise their right hands and swear before God to find the culprit. Never mind that the operators had been complaining that management wasn't providing adequate bathroom breaks. Are you kidding me? Hence the bottle method. For years, in any other workplace, that kind of thing might be funny, said one operator, but in control room, it's reckless. Management was making threats, causing resentment, creating distraction. Many of Byron operators also contend that their union has been ineffective at Byron since Cork retired. They say the union has often been unable to provide its members with adequate protection from abuse, retaliation, or to effectively enable them to advocate for safety-conscious conduct at the plant. And I tell you what, if it's happening at Byron, it's happening at Braidwood, it's happening at Honeywell, it's happening everywhere. But I know it for sure it's happening in Illinois. The Japanese know. They got Fukushima going, and they're warning us about this Byron nuclear generating station. Hello, wake up. My name's Sue Ortiz. Nice to meet you. Several of Byron's most senior union operators specifically questioned current union head Dean Apple's leadership, which has included a broken promise Apple made to Karen Busser to supply her with documents that would shed light on her husband's death, said one union source. Karen and her situation is nobody to the union. Karen, your situation is important to me. I've never met you. My heart goes out to you. Asked if Byron's safety culture and work conditions demonstrate any long-term tendency toward improvement, one operator said, it can seem like things are getting better, but then you realize you've just gotten used to it being so bad. Basically, we're circling the drain, and as long as we don't go in, no one cares how close we get. Concrete. Let's get it going. A number of sources pointed to a particular phrase often used by a former reactor operator to describe the options available to Byron employees. Adapt, migrate, or die. Well, we can't migrate, all of us Chicagoans, you know. I mean, when you go somewhere, even if you're from Aurora or any suburb, you say you're from Chicago. People just understand Chicago. And if you're from Indiana, I mean, let's talk about it. Gary, Indiana, and we watch the same TV shows. Is it Gary? Right over the border there? I don't really know. I don't really go east so much. Oak Park wound up being, I worked next to Oak Park for 4 years and didn't realize where Oak Park was. I never went, you know, I'd run to the city for this and that, but you hop on the tollway or whatever. This is amazing to me. I'm reading this fresh, like I said. It might be 7 videos. At this point, I'm just scratching my head going, what the hell? Okay, so they're circling the drain as long as they don't go in. All right. In October 2012, Larry Lawson filed an incident report at the plant. In it, he cataloged the chronic staffing issues facing Byron and described the toll that short staffing has taken on NSOs. Since I cannot force you to provide better health coverage or increase the number of NSOs, Lawson wrote, I will do the one thing I have control over. I quit. Poor guy. In January, Barry Quigley, I mean, that's pretty bad. Larry Lawson filed an incident report at the plant. I know I saw something in October 2012. I'm trying to go back. You can go back and look at it. I couldn't really focus in on the screen, but I read aloud some of the violations on an NRC report, which I will be doing again. In January, Barry Quigley discovered that, per NRC request, Exelon had run a new batch of tests on Byron's HELB vulnerability using the more accurate mathematical modeling system he had championed in his petition. The results were damning, and Exelon had hidden them from regulators. Quigley has reported the cover-up to NRC. The NRC has yet to take substantive action. Well, I read their 2013 reports and I saw no violations. So I'm saying it didn't get took care of. But then again, 2014's a long year, but I only had access to 2013's data records now, didn't I? So that's pretty convenient. If you don't have to account for your own safety inspections until the end of the year, you can type whatever the hell you want. Used to do inspections on fasteners. Used to read dry reports and make your eyes bleed. Your inspection reports are pretty easy to read. And holy crap. Decades of mostly thankless safety work have left Quigley weary. It is debilitating. It is exhausting, he admitted. He isn't certain if HELB is his final campaign as Byron's resident safety sentinel. Headway at Exelon, with its culture of hiding problems, seems to be in short supply, but he nonetheless does enjoy other aspects of his job at Byron, and it is certain he'll keep doing nuclear safety work somewhere. I don't think I'll ever retire, he said, noting that he has considered applying for a job at NRC. I don't think they're looking to hire people like this guy, but maybe, hopefully, who knows? I'm just so. In February, Byron Station was notified that it had been rated INPO number 2, bringing an end to its long streak of high safety ratings. Are you kidding me? A month beforehand, sources familiar with the ratings process provided this investigation with the forthcoming rating, the date it would be issued, and the rationale that would be used. Sources also speculated that the Byron site vice president, Tim Toulon, recognized by plant employees as a comparatively effective and humane executive, would be transferred, despite the fact that the safety issues underlying the rating had been created by previous management regimes. Toulon was transferred shortly after Byron received its INPO 2 rating. INPO 1 means the wrong people get promoted. INPO 2 means the wrong heads roll. That's it. Politics theater, one reactor operator said. None of the people responsible for the broken safety culture at Byron will face any blame for it. They've moved on, they've moved up, they've took the money and run. Insanity. Part 5 coming at you.